Thank you. And thank you, everyone. Let's get back to nature, back to simplicity. And I didn't care about plants at all in my life. Being a physicist from a Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, physics, mathematics, chemistry, nuclear physics, anything. So the plants didn't exist in my life at all. But 20 years ago, when I went to work in Belgium and I rented an empty apartment, friends of mine brought me a seedling of aloe plant and sent at least some company to you. And it was the first person who I talked to in representing plants. And so every morning I was watering this plant and saying to this plant, Vася, Vася is the most popular name for cats in Russia. You are not an aloe, you are a cypress. And I was rotating 180 degrees because it was growing against the window. You know what? In 3-5 years, you see the picture, this plant became as a tree. Not always a stem, it was like a trunk. And some friends who were visiting me, you see, it's like a tree. I said, yes. And everything was fine until someday my kids came to visit me. And when I came back from work, I found 2 Vasyas on the floor because I dropped them. And what to do? And then I had 2 Vasyas, the head of Vasya and the rare part of it. And so I left the rare part not attending, and every morning I will continue my mantra with the head, and you see the results. So it gave me an idea that actually we can communicate with the plants, but they can communicate with us. And then I came to work here in America, resumed my work with Yuri Kron, who was a long-time member of SSE, here at his lab at Energy Tools International. And we were working also with the plants. And so then we came to the concept of biophotons. You see the definition, actually. It's assumed that we have photons. So what's the difference with biophotons? It's the same photons, but they accompany biological processes which take place in the living organism, including plants. And then we came to an idea. So let's try to record what plants are messaging to the environment. And you see the grape put as a hologram, projected to the CCD device, a charge coupling device. And then, what is it? Charge coupled device. It's a photosensitive unit which transform your photon into electrical current. As soon as you have electrical current, you can analyze it and digitize. So that's what we did. And then what to do with that? So does it contain any messages from the grape or not? And then we used another system, which was analyzing the same grape when it was illuminated by the modulated signal which we received in the previous stage. And then we were fixing the delayed fluorescence of the process. And then you see when it was illuminated with this message, so we have a difference in this messaging. Okay, that's okay. So we have some result, but we have to interpret it. How? We move to the next stage. So let's use magnetic field or light-emitting diodes to illuminate.
How many are left? You have 15 left.
Oh, okay. Because I thought Mark says it's 15 minutes already. Okay, thanks. Okay, so we use magnetic field when I worked with Eurocron or light-emitting diodes in the MIGTech lab where I work now. And with this light or with this magnetic field, we were processing different products which we used then in agriculture. You see, it's like water or trace minerals or fertilizers or even sea salt. And then we used a system, test system, where we used water which were processed with these messages and light-emitting diodes modulated with the same signal. And now we're coming to the pilot studies results which we received during all these years. So you can read yourself so what kind of test studies we did, but the first picture shows you a hemp plant. And why hemp? Because I live in Oregon, and hemp is very popular over there. You can guess, not only because of medicinal use, because it has a lot of CBD, which is cannabidiol, right? But also THC, which makes people high. And since it's legal, so very popular, and farmers are very happy when they see this big difference. A fertilizer infused gives them much more yield than another plant. So, but at the first stage, a question we had was, so how this message from the plant which we received, and this experiment was concerning onion and rice seeds. We received a question from South Africa, and they were having a lot of old rice and onion seeds, and you know, only, you see the numbers here on the table, 28 to 14% of these seeds are actually alive. Is there a way to make them more active? And in the middle of this slide, you see a picture of new seeds. You see, we cannot help good seeds to be better. But old seeds is a different story. And so when we process these seeds with different electromagnetically processed water, you see the results, like 64% more for onion and 92, almost 2 times more good seeds for rice. Unfortunately, South Africa, after receiving this result, were not interested anymore, and so this work was stopped. But it gave us an idea that the best concentration, it's like a homeopathic dilution, which is about 1,000 times or 10,000 times. Okay, back to hemp. Then we are talking about messages which plants give to each other. You see, is there a difference how we process these messages? Is any message better than another message? And so we created 2 different recordings, which we called happy plant. Why happy plant? Because it was taken from a hemp with a high concentration of THC. And plant longevity, which was taken from a plant with high concentration of CBD. You know that humans, we have an endocannabinoid system which has receptors very similar to hemp. And we found that they both work beneficially for the plant. You see, for happy plant, 58% more than control. For plant longevity, 40% more, which is good. But there is a difference. Okay, then growers of hemp are interested, so because we have 100 different strains of hemp, is there any difference how they comprehend this message? And we see that these 3 strains, which is papaya, BTX, and banana, they're processed with the same message, which is happy plant. definitely. And this time, we measured the content of these chemicals in the hemp, which is CBD, THC, and CBG. CBG is a chemical which helps with multiple sclerosis. And you see the explanation on the right above, so what this abbreviation work for. And you see the results, which gave us an idea that we can influence the content in the plant by processing the water with particular message we derived from the plant itself. And that's ongoing research. Again, hemp. But this time, the grower was interested. So what if we take a message not from a plant by itself, because we already have this message, from the microbial inoculant, which they use to grow this plant. And you see at the upper left corner, the biggest one, definitely this hemp was processed with this messaging. Why these two controls? Why they two different controls? Because the grower was not sure how our approach will work. And so just to retain the good quality, because it's always a risky experiment, right? He made two controls. This picture is taken a week ago. Yesterday he called me and told me, you know what? This auto-Russian doesn't have anything to do with Russians, it's just a name. Auto-Russian, he put several drops of the same mixture, but processed with our technology, and it's start growing much faster. Good news. So everything is ongoing research. So conclusions, actually, you can get it from what I delivered to you. We have an ongoing research in Israel where they have a shortage of water, as you know. And they made a very brief experiment on peppers, green peppers. And I don't have the final result, but what they said to me sounds very promising, but strange. So they used as a control green peppers, fed this fertilizer for 20% less than the usual peppers. And they used additive of water processed with a formula which we derived for peppers. And they have more green peppers when they have less fertilizers than for the control which usually grown. So a lot of ongoing research now in San Diego. They're growing avocado. It's a long-term experiment, 9 months. But we're looking forward to get more results and to continue further our research how to get better messaging from the plants and how to deliver it back to the plants. Thank you.
Mike's in his suitcase than probably clothing.